And we are back. The Hangman and Kahuna, or Gmac and Zach, for week 5, right? It's week 5 in the NFL.
Yep.
Week 5 in the NFL. We're just kind of thumbing through last minute odds and good picks, and we're I'm doing better. I've been doing better. I've been getting a little better. There's the money's going this way instead of to the basement. So it's getting there.
Yeah, I'm in that point of the season where it's exciting to bet on multiple things. So we got playoff baseball happening, college football is going on, and then we got the NFL, and there's 3 nights a week of the NFL to bet on. So I'm fluctuating. I'm still hovering around my original money bag, but I'm betting. I got a lot of action in a lot of places. So it's just really for fun now. I'm like gambling and not trying to be sharp and win a ton of money. So I'm not going to share those all with everybody, but the ones I think will hit, I'll share. So first off, I just want to, definitely want to say I feel very sorry for anybody who is a Denver Broncos fan. You have how many more years of this contract, this $250 million contract for an absolute bum? Oh my God. What happened? Years. What happened to Russell Wilson? Like,
I don't know.
He was awful, and he's been awful all year. I think he's okay. Just conspiracy theories aside, I think he's been abducted and replaced with a plastic man. Have you seen him? Broncos country, let's ride. Broncos country, let's ride. And did you see the Danger Witch commercial where he's eating the Subway sandwich? What is wrong? He's not a human. He's a lizard person. I bet he smells like sulfur. Let's get Alex Jones on this. What happened to this man? It's like, so he had years of like success in Seattle, and Broncos.
Yeah, but was it the system? It might have been the system.
That's what me and my dad were talking about. It's probably the system. But he's like if you order Tom Brady from Wish. He's just a broken man who used to be good and now is just garbage. Anyway, but what a shit show on Thursday. Not a single touchdown scored. It was plus 5,000 at halftime for no touchdown to be scored, and I wish I would have took it. But it was on a different betting platform. Barstool didn't have it. But damn, what the field? If you had field goal kickers in your fantasy league playing Thursday night, good for you, because they scored a shit ton of points. But at Thursday night, what a trash game! I'm glad we didn't talk about it last week. But
you know what? Is everybody walked out of it. Mm-hmm. People walked out of that game. Like,
I don't blame them.
Like Broncos fans walked out before overtime or whatever it was. It's pretty crazy, you know.
Yeah, I was talking to Chris Winnie last night because I asked him for a prop to throw into the bets, and he was saying that the big Broncos country let's ride is memeing everywhere, and so that's why I sent you the picture of I don't know if you got it. I made a little meme of Russell Wilson doing the let's ride with Dale Earnhardt's crash and Princess Diana's crash and the Challenger crash, but he said he's kicked it off the idea. He said there's one of him in JFK's motorcade, Broncos country let's ride. They're just that's the best takeaway from Thursday night football game is all the memeing of Russell Wilson. So we're going early today because there's an early London game this week. First game of the day is at 9:30, playing in, I think it's in Tottenham, not Wembley, in London. So it's the Giants, the 3-1 Giants versus the 3-1 Packers. The spread right now, it's been kind of bouncing for me. I don't know on your sports book between 7.5 and 8. It's at 8 right now. Plus 8 for the Giants, minus 8 for the Packers, and the over under is 41.5.
Yeah, and I'm not a Giants guy at all, obviously, but I have a buddy that's actually at that game right now, so I hope they hit the over. That's what I would like there. That's about it. They hit the over. I don't know. Lately, Aaron Rodgers, he's like an up and down guy. You can't get a read on him week to week.
So I like the over there. I don't have any action on that. I have 2 prop bets for this. I have Saquon Barkley going over 79.5 yards. That dude's a workhorse. When I say 79.5, I mean rushing, not rushing and receiving.
Yeah.
You have to make sure you pick the correct one.
Whether it's anytime yards or
right. Yeah. he can catch, he can run, and he is the driver of this offense. And if they hope to win or they hope to cover, or I mean, they don't hope to cover. No team does. If the bettors hope they cover, he's got to come and he's got to play. And against good defenses and bad defenses, he plays well. So hopefully he stays healthy and he runs the ball. I got him, and then I got, is it Romeo Dobbs? He had a good week last week for the Packers.
They say he had a good week last year, huh?
Yeah. Again, all over the place. So I got Dobbs over 48.5. He saw increase to targets last week from Aaron Rodgers. I know Lazard is kind of on his way back too, so maybe they'll split it up. I think it's a toss-up between Lazard and Dobbs. I took Dobbs just because he had good production last week, and it's only 48.5. I think Rodgers and him will connect for at least that much, because I expect the Packers to win today, and I think they'll beat the Giants by more than 8. But I'm not taking that action. I don't want to say that's a lock. Take that bet. But you did you say you had a prop for fucking Giants plus 14.5?
Yeah, let me see. There's a boost. There's a boost here. Is
On DraftKings?
FanDuel.
FanDuel?
Yeah, it's Giants to cover 14.5 and Saquon Barkley to have 50+ yards of rushing.
I like that. I'm telling you, like that might even be like
plus 100 right now. So
that might even be like a 2 unit.
Yeah.
Like I would call that in my eyes a lock, because I got Saquon at over 79.5, and I think the Giants may cover 8. So to have 14, like, I like that.
There's another boost for that game. It's Aaron Rodgers 250 yards of passing and to cover 6.5 points, and it's at plus 400.
To cover 6.5?
Cover 6.5 and have 250 yards plus of passing.
Wow. I think they're both good.
Yeah.
Now, what is FanDuel doing? I don't have that. I think they're both good.
Well, you know why? There's probably maybe there's not a lot of money coming in on the game, and that's the way.
Because it's early?
Because it's early, maybe? I don't know.
I don't know. But I'm excited for that game. I got a couple friends. I live in the Midwest now. A couple friends who are Packers fans, and I don't mind the Packers. A lot of people like to shit on Aaron Rodgers and stuff.
Fuck the Packers.
I don't mind them. I love when I went to Wisconsin with Mom. I loved the area. It was beautiful. Green Bay. Everybody there was super nice.
Jeffrey Dahmer was nice. He was in Wisconsin.
No, wasn't he in Milwaukee? That's Wisconsin. The chocolate tastes shitty. Tastes like people.
Yeah.
Oh, Jeffrey Dahmer. All right, so that's that game. I got 2 props, and I'm going to tell you right now, I like both of those FanDuel things. So if you got it, you should hammer it.
I like the over in that game. I think both can score. Just matter if they will or not.
Yeah. I mean, and so not to hang too long on this game, but they're both Green Bay definitely has the better package, right?
I think Rodgers, they're both 3-1, right?
They're both 3-1. Rodgers typically in the last couple of years has started off slow and gotten better. The big stat for Rodgers this year, though, is he has 3 interceptions so far in the beginning, in the first 4 games, and he's only thrown 4 or 5 the last 3 seasons, the whole season. So that's a little off. He is kind of in the winter years of his career, but he typically starts off slow and then ends up coming back. I mean, this man's been the MVP. He plays well towards the end, except for the playoffs lately. So they have the better, all around thing. Is it Daniel Jones? He can. Yeah. He don't have the targets that Green Bay has. Saquon, I think, is definitely better than Green Bay's running back.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think Green Bay is the better package team.
Beat you with his feet.
He can. I'm surprised. That dude can scramble.
Giants fans shit on that kid, and I think wrongly.
Yeah. I don't. I mean,
if they didn't have a mobile quarterback, he'd get destroyed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm just so happy. I'm talking all this shit. I'm smiling. Look at me. Look that you got Jonathan Taylor with your auto draft, and he's a fucking super bust. And I was like, I guess I took Christian McCaffrey round 1, but then Saquon falls in my lap, and he's like the RB1. This dude's the workhorse, and
Yeah.
I hope he stays healthy and keeps giving me points. And I wallop Max today. I hope I fucking put him in the dirt.
I always hope anybody wallops Max. Just
I was
anybody.
asking Chris. I was like, "Hey man, I was like, I haven't played fantasy. Like I'm new back. I just started watching football again. It's been like 10 years. I don't know a lot of these players. Can you help me out?" He's like, even Chris is like, I want to see my brother go down. So we were
Draft
talking.
this. Yeah.
Yeah. We
Max
were
is the
talking about
biggest
who to
shit
start and who to
talker.
flex. It was
All
funny.
he wants is to get heat. Max wants heat. All right, so let's move on to the next
Yeah.
game.
So I'm just going down if I got the schedules and stuff here. It might be different than what's on your thing. So we got on here at 1:00 on CBS. We got the 1-3 Pittsburgh Steelers playing at the 3-1 Buffalo Bills. I think the line is -14 and hasn't moved at all. They're giving the Bills 2 touchdowns, and I think that's not enough. I think the Bills are going to fucking destroy this team. They're going to kill them. They're playing in Buffalo.
And it's colder up this way and up that way, so quite possible. I definitely think the Bills are going to cover it. Kenny Pickett is now got a week with the ones as opposed to being the backup. So we'll see. I mean, you can't judge, a rookie debut when you come in and half after half or something. You gotta see what happens. And he's probably like another week or two from being completely comfortable with the group. So, this will be a learning curve, but I don't care if you're a veteran going to Buffalo right now. It's not an easy game.
Yeah, I got a prop in this game, which I'll put at the end when we do our total Outlaw Edge prop. But I want this kid to be successful. Like the fans have been cheering for him every game. Put him in, pick it, trying to get Trubisky out of there. And he got his chance. He threw 3 picks, but he also had some exciting throws. And I want to see him do well. And I want this Pittsburgh Steelers team to kind of come back. They've been playing really poorly. Like I want to see them be hard-nosed and put points on the board. And I want to see them be successful. I love him. I want to see him hook up with Pickens and just have a day. I would love to see that. Not necessarily during this game, because the Bills, I want to see trounce them because they're my Super Bowl future pick. I want the Bills to just finish out perfect because fuck the Eagles. And
the Bills already lost though.
I know they're not going to go perfect, but I want them to
finish up the rest.
I want them to win out. Yeah, I want them to win out. They had the fluke shit in Miami where they're everybody's hot as shit and cramping up. So let's let them be healthy and have their power football team and continue to dominate. But I'm really excited for the future of the Steelers. Had this Steelers team come into be last year, I may be a Steelers fan instead of a Cowboys fan because they have the things that I like about a team. Like they're young, they're gonna they have the history of being a strong defensive team. If they had a good running back, I like the Steelers. I want them to be successful, but I don't think they're gonna. I don't think it gets put together today. Like you said, he's only had a week with the number ones. It's gonna come together, but I don't think today's the day, especially against a dominating Buffalo team.
Yeah. I agree.
But I do have a prop that I'll share later. Next, we have the 2-2. Wow, the 2-2 Chargers. Did not expect that. Versus the 2-2 Browns. Also, I mean, I'm used to the Browns being 0 and whatever all the time. So they're playing at 1:00 in Cleveland. I have a bet here. I have the under. So currently the under on Barstool is 47. Is it 47.5? Let me see here. Sorry. I'm going through 2 separate things.
I just like Cleveland in the money line. It's hard for West Coast teams to travel east.
Not only that, I agree with you.
Run the ball.
I agree with you. So the spread is only 1.5. So they're giving the Chargers -1.5. The over-under is 47. I actually might like that. So I didn't get a chance to see the Chargers play last week, and you probably didn't either because you were doing the youth football thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know how Herbert is doing since like his injury and was a week 1 versus the Chiefs, how he's bouncing back.
It doesn't seem like you're not hearing him on the highlights every week. So
right. But Eckler had a game last week, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, The Browns are. You said West
The
Coast
Browns
versus.
have a two-headed running back there with Kareem Hunt and what's his name?
Is it Chubb?
Chubb, yeah.
Yeah, they have a This is going to be a strong running game, right? They have both. Eckler had a good week last week. The Browns have the two good running backs. It's going to be one on the ground, I think. But like you said, West Coast going East Coast, and the big temperature change.
Yeah.
Warm weather. Not just West Coast, but the Chargers are a warm weather team coming into the frigid cold armpit of America, Cleveland, in Ohio, the dump. And it's freezing. It's cold, man. I've been walking around like I even had to put on pants. I wear shorts all year round. I wear shorts when it snows. I had to put on pants because I'm freezing. But maybe I'm just getting older and my cold tolerance is less. So I'm taking the under in this. I think it's going to be a lot of running football, slow. The clock's going to wind down faster, not a lot of incomplete passes. I'm going under. And I do like the Browns' money line is plus 100. So not a huge thing. I think you'd like double your money, 5 to get 5 or whatever.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
still, I like it. I want the Browns, having the power running back. I think they're gonna run the ball.
Yeah,
And
I like
they might
just
win.
like the Browns in the money line or the Browns to cover either one of those because it's a home game. West Coast team coming to them. I
Yeah.
just think it's probably it's West Coast doesn't travel well, and like you said, you can grind it out on the ground.
Yeah. I like Herbert, but I have this animosity still from the last time I watched football with the Chargers because Phillip Rivers is my most hated person ever. And he was the head of the Chargers, and that sticks. Like I have that. I think of the Chargers. I think of him, even though he's not there anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. So that's that game. Then we got the Texans, the 0-3-1 Texans at the 2-2 Jags. Whoa, at 1:00, the Jags are 2-2. They started. Is this week?
Yeah, it must be.
I thought they started 3-0. The Jags.
No.
No,
They
okay.
lost.
They lost. So they lost. They started 2-0, lost their last two. Right? They came out. This is the wonder team. Look at what they're doing. They got Travis Etienne and the young quarterback. They're going to be super good. And they lost their last two games. They're still a good team. And the Texans, their record says that they're ass. But the Texans play the Jags well. They have won 8 of their last 9 encounters, 4 or 5 of them by blowouts. And I understand that those teams aren't playing this team, but you got to think of football, the system playing the system. They typically play the Jags well. They're playing in
What's Houston's record right now?
0-3-1.
They tied the Colts. That's the
Yes.
Yeah, no, I hear you. And Jacksonville,
I don't
they're not lighting the world on fire yet.
Right. And I'm talking about this saying like they play them well because they're giving them 7 points. So it's +7 for the Texans versus the Jags, and I think they'll cover. I'm going Texans +7 just because they typically play them well, and I'm not looking at this year's stats. I don't care about that. So that's
I think Jacksonville will win. I don't maybe by a field goal. So that's probably
I think same. I think Jacksonville will win, but I think the Texans are going to play them hard and play them close, and there's a chance that they can beat them. Like maybe they get their first win this year because they play that team well. And then the last, it's not the last 1:00 game. There's an ad there. So this game, I love this game. Somebody posted up here, who's Steve Plumstead? Vikings. That's what we're about to talk about, right?
That's my buddy Steve. He's a big Vikings guy.
Gotcha. Steve, we got the Bears versus Vikings. We got 2-2 Bears playing in Minnesota, 3-1. It's not primetime Kirk Cousins, so that means the Vikings already in the positive column. The Bears are absolute garbage. I don't know how they have 2 wins. Like, I did win last week on that Fields over. Remember I told you he had the lowest DraftKings ever, 147. He connected with Mooney for a big moonshot, but this is a big divisional rivalry. I like the Vikings to take it here. I
like the Vikings, and I think they're going to cover.
I have some. What's your line? Do you know your line?
7.5.
They're giving the Vikings 7.5.
Yeah.
Okay. Man, Barstool sucks. I'm about to drop Barstool. By the way, I need to find a new one because their app is garbage. I love their content. I love their TikTok. Everything. They're so fun to watch, but your app is garbage. It kicks me out constantly. I have to log in 47 times while I'm trying to do a fucking bet and lose all my shit and my money. Like, it sucks. It's ass. And your parlays, your exclusives suck. Give me one like George had, like Gmac had with the actually good. Everyone you have is like plus 300 odds and they're garbage. Anyway, so back to Barstool. We got the motherfucker. I can't find it. It's not there. So I don't know the line on Barstool. I don't give a shit. I got props in this one. The big thing to note is that Jalen Johnson, cornerback for the Bears, is out. He's doubtful. He's doubtful for the game. So that means you have one of your starting cornerbacks potentially on the bench, and Justin Jefferson is going to have a field day because they're going to have to double team him. And then you have a not starter on him. So he's still going to make catches because that's what Justin Jefferson do. But then also you got Thielen, who is kind of coming back. He's had a shitty week 1 and 2. His fantasy points were under 10. But the last in week 3 and 4, he's been productive. So I think teams are starting to shift to really focusing on Jefferson because he's a blowout star. And, Thielen's going to step up and take some catches. So I like the Vikings here. I like the Vikings to cover. That's all I got to say about that. Life's like a box of chocolates. You have anything else on that game?
No, I Vikings at home 1:00 game. Weather will not be a factor. Like you said, not primetime Kirk Cousins. I like the Vikings in this game.
Yeah. I do have prop picks here, which will be in the thing. I think it's a toss-up for me between both sound good for Jefferson and Thielen. Thielen's over is 54.5, and then Jefferson is like 83.5, I think. But I have Jefferson in the prop, which I'll go through at the end. But I also like Thielen too. So both I think will be good odds of hitting. So anyway, so we're still in the 1:00 games. We have the 1 and 3 Detroit Lions playing at the 1 and 3 Patriots. I think the line is 3 or 3.5 for the Patriots. Patriots -3.
Yeah.
Fuck, man, I want the Lions to come out and get a win here.
This is one of my bets. I think the Lions are going to cover the 3.5.
I want them to win. Money line.
Well, I'm saying if you're going to win if they win.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I think they're going to cover. They're on the road. That's the only thing. It's a dome team going on the road to the Northeast. The time is an hour different, which isn't bad. It's just the outside thing and the weather. Dome teams, when it starts to get cold, aren't as acclimated, which is weird because Detroit's cold. So
yeah, but it's a dome, so it's heated in there. So
yeah, Detroit can score a lot of points, but I don't know that I'm not really sure that the Patriots can right now. So that's one of my bets. I do like the Lions at plus 3.5.
Okay. And then the over-under right now is 45.5. I want them to put this together. I want the Lions to their fans are just treating them like crap right now. They have the most scored points in the NFL by a team right now. Their offense is on fire, but they just can't. Their defense gives up a lot of points too. So like they got to put it together. I hope they do it this week, and I hope they take a money line. I
think they need another pass rusher because they can't all be on Hutcherson.
Yeah,
but
also prop to look out for. I don't know what the line is on it for, but Hawkinson, that dude had a game last week. Their tight ends for the Lions. Yeah. I would probably take his over. I think they're going to look to him to be not only a prime target, but also kind of keep their offense putting points up. Like he's scoring touchdowns left and right. So maybe Hawkinson anytime TD or over might be lucrative there because the Patriots, they're just lackluster. They're not. I mean, they're still Bill Belichick and they're still a decent team.
Right, but they're still finding themselves. It seems like.
Yeah. So I would look at those bets and think about those because it's Hawkinson as far as props might be good. All right. Next one is still in the 1:00. We got Seattle 2-2 Seattle versus the 1-3 New Orleans Saints. What do you think about this one?
2-2 Seattle at New Orleans.
Yes,
New Orleans.
I agree.
It's New Orleans at home. I do not trust Geno Smith if he's even still the quarterback out there in
He
Seattle.
is.
I don't. I've never been a big guy. He was a Heisman Trophy front runner when he was at West Virginia. Went like 6 or 7-0, and then didn't do nothing to finish the year.
Yeah.
You don't know which one you're going to get, but that win early in the year over the Broncos, which looked good in Week 1, now looks like eh. You know what I mean? Like
yes,
the Broncos
yes and
end
no.
up being a junk team. So really,
Yes and no. I think I agree that I feel like Geno right now is a coin flip. I feel like it's a coin flip whether he's going to be on fire or ass, just turbo ass. So it really matters like what's good. You got to look at the first drive, and let that. So if he comes out and it's a 4 and out, I'm going fucking Saints all day. But if he's got his shit together, he can be really good. But the Saints defense is very good. The fact that they're 1-3, the fact that they're 1-3, I'm not paying any attention to that. They're the home favorites -5. I like the Saints here. Over under 45.
I'd go under.
Yeah, I'd go under, especially if you get the bum Geno that shows up.
I could see this being like a 2014 game. You know what I mean? 20-14.
2014 Saints. Let's put the Hangman's fucking 20-14 Schwami on there. We'll see how it comes to next week if we should have took that bet. All right. We got three more 1:00 games. We got the 3-1 Dolphins at the 2-2 New York Jets. I cannot believe how much money and how many people are coming through on the Jets right now.
I'm on the Jets train this week.
I understand that I got to check. Whoa, we got to get this quick. I got to look at my fantasy because we got a London game coming up. If I know Waddle and Hill are questionable, they were as of yesterday. So that's the two big weapons for the Dolphins. Tua is out again. So we got Bridgewater, right? Is that who their secondary quarterback is? We got Bridgewater, who did come in last week after Tua went out again and played pretty well. So I think if the Dolphins have any chance here, they need to have one of those two receivers in. Hill or Waddle's got to be in. If they're both out, I think the Jets fucking just trample them. They completely, destroy them. But if one of them's in, they got that, and then they got is it Raheem Mostert, their running back? He's really good. I picked him up on waiver wires, so I hope he has a game. He's in my flex spot right now. I think the Dolphins are the better team when healthy by far, but the Jets have a lot of young stars who are stepping up, and they're actually fun to watch. I wish I lived in New York and could see they I don't get their games. I get the Midwest games on my package. Right. So Breece Hall seems like and every week I ask Highland for bets. They're Jets heavy. I'm like, just pick one, dude. I said I want a prop. Give me one. Yeah. He's like, well, I got 37 of Breece Hall over under touchdown. Just what's your best one? But that's
Highland. He's a typical Jets fan where it's no matter what, the Jets could be playing like the all Madden all-time team, and he'd be like, Jets by 6. He's just that guy.
Yeah, it's got Lawrence Taylor, Dick Butkus on the defense.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna run for 100. Yeah. But anyway, so I do have one of his picks in our prop this week, so I'll tell that at the end. I like the Jets to cover. I don't think they're gonna win. I think it's risky, but it could be worth the reward depending on how many injuries are with Miami. You got a warm weather team coming to the frigid, cold nutsack of New York, or I'm sorry, East Rutherford, New Jersey. I like the Jets to cover.
I like the Jets at the 3.5.
Yeah, I like them to cover. What else we got here? Let's go. We got you motherfucker. Again, Barstool, you logged me out again. I'm actively in your app. I'm working in it, and you logged me out for inactivity. What's going on? Cocksuckers. All right. This is just 1 o'clock game. We got 2-2 Falcons at the 2-2 Buccaneers. All I'm going to say is Bucs win.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah.
I don't care about Tom Brady. He needs. This is his last season. It's got to be. It's got to be.
Listen, like any breakup, you got that couple weeks of like you're just dragging your ass around, and then you either get over it or whatever. But once he gets in that mad stage, watch out. That should be around week 9, where he's kind of fed up and he's like, "Fuck it, let's rip," and that's it.
Yeah,
Then,
but is he old enough to start having dementia and just forget about it
nah,
altogether?
he'll be good. He'll
All
be
right.
good.
Yeah, I just think Bucks win. I'm not touching the game. Evans is back. He came back last week, right, and had a game after he got a suspension for defending his quarterback and fighting.
Yeah.
I honestly, I'll plead ignorance. I don't know shit about the Falcons. They've always
There's
been
nothing
asked
really
me.
to know right now. That's the problem.
They've always been asked me. I just know that fucking Matt Ryan used to play for him. I hate Matt Ryan, and now he's on the Colts, and I hate the Colts because of it. And he blew like one of the biggest leads in the Super Bowl ever, right? It was like 28-3. Yeah.
Well, that wasn't on him really. That was the coaches still trying to score.
Fuck them. I don't care about the Falcons. So I would just say Bucks money line. If you want to throw it in like a parlay or something that's like this is a lock, I need one more to boost the odds a little bit. Bucks money line I think wins because they're at home. They're at home. It's Tom Brady at home, and
I think we spent way too much time on that game.
Yeah, already, and I didn't really talk much. Okay,
when you said Bucks win, that was it. That should have been enough.
Yeah. All right, this is the last 1 o'clock game, and I like this game. It is the 2-2 Titans playing at the 1-3 Commanders. So I do have a bet on this one. I'm all over with my notebook here, guys. I'm sorry. So, what's your thoughts on this while I try and find it?
I like the Titans. The Titans are in like must-win games every week now. Because it's going to be hard when you're playing from behind like that. You got to make up ground in your division, and you got to make up ground in your conference. And they were so every week's like must win, and some teams play better with pressure.
I think the Commanders are ass. Go Cowboys! They absolutely destroyed them in their disgusting uniforms last week. But I like the over in this game. It's over 43 points. Both defenses I think are pretty garbage. And if Carson Wentz can manage to, snap the ball and put it anywhere else other than on the ground or in a defender's hands, maybe they can score some points, and then it'll be a high-scoring game. I just think it'll be a high-scoring game, more than 43. So, Commanders suck, man. I'm so glad I jumped ship. They're ass, turbo ass. All right, now we're in the 4 o'clock games. We got the 2-2 San Francisco 49ers playing at the Baker Mayfield shit show 1-3 Carolina Panthers. 49ers all day long. CMC, Christian McCaffrey, I think will put points on the board. He'll be a good guy for your fantasy. He's currently like the RB2. He's still, he's doing pretty well this year. Fingers crossed. With injuries, he's been questionable every week. He sits out. I just think, what? I just think Christian McCaffrey doesn't like to fucking practice.
Maybe.
I just think he wants to sit out on Wednesday and take a day off.
Practice. Not a game, not a playoff. Practice. We're talking about practice.
Practice? You want to talk about practice? I hope he comes out and has a decent game. But the 49ers, even with their starting quarterback out, they have, what's his name, right? Well, who's the quarterback? Who is their quarterback for? Is it Garoppolo? They have Garoppolo.
Jimmy G.
So it's not like it's somebody completely new at the helm. It's somebody who knows the system.
Right. And Jimmy G runs that offense efficiently. 49ers here all day.
Deebo Samuel is phenomenal.
Yeah.
That dude is something to watch. He's a spectacle.
He's an athlete. He's an every spot on the field kind of offensive player.
Yeah, I like Deebo.
He'll catch deep balls. He'll run as a running back.
I like Deebo anytime touchdown that game too.
Yeah. Yep. I agree.
And then maybe even Christian McCaffrey. I don't know if they score a touchdown. Baker Mayfield's done, man. He's done. Yeah. He's got to go. He was bad in Cleveland. He's bad here. I know you liked him, right? You liked him when he was in Cleveland?
Well, I think he's an undersized guy that plays bigger than he is. I don't know.
Why?
Listen, you can rah down team, when teams haven't won for a while, you can rah guys that aren't used to winning and get them to win. But then I'll put it this way: if he had all the pieces around him, I think he'd be very serviceable. But when he's got to make a lot of it happen himself, it's going to be too tough.
Right. I mean, so he's a little guy, right? Tua is a little guy as well. They're both short.
Kyler Murray's a little guy.
Right. So there's people who can overcome that. You can see he had a reporter last week ask him about what's going on with him and having all these tipped balls because he's so short. A lot of his balls, like the defense is just tipping him. Like he doesn't have the height advantage to get over them, and they barely even have to jump. They just got to come in with their hands up and they tip the shit. And he's definitely, you can see the frustration in his answer. He didn't go off on them, but he was just like, "Do you have drills for me? Like, do you have something you can give me to help?" You can see how frustrated he is, and that I just don't know if he came from being. Did he win the Heisman?
Yes.
So he came from being a stud in college to coming to the ass Browns, and now
making them a playoff team.
I guess, yeah. But they also had Chubb too, right? They had Chubb and Hunt.
But that's what I'm saying. When you have a complete package, you come and you think you're going to have McCaffrey, but McCaffrey's not McCaffrey right now. He doesn't run the ball like he used to. It's more like catching the ball out of the backfield.
He's McCaffrey and free. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I stayed away from that game.
I don't like him. I like the 49ers to win, but the
odds
think the
are probably 49ers win, but the bets are too tight. There's nothing I like particularly in that game.
All right, next 4:00 game we have the 4-0 Eagles coming into the 2-2 Arizona Cardinals.
Well, in a perfect world, right? If you're a Cowboy fan, you are with your Cowboy stuff on.
Yeah.
You want the Eagles to win today, and you want the Cowboys to win today because next week they're on Sunday Night Football. And then you know what I mean. That's the perfect world. You want to be 5-0 and 4-1 going into that game, and say, "Hey, here we are. Let's see where it's a good measuring stick as an organization." So I think the Eagles get the job done. I don't know about points and spreads and this. I think Kyler Murray will give them problems just because he'll run around like a toddler in the backfield.
Yeah.
If you don't play sound defensive football, like staying in your lanes, doing your job, if you break down too early or you come off script, you're exploiting he can exploit them little seams that you leave him.
That's the thing with Philadelphia, though. They don't do that often. They don't break down often. Their defense is sound. This could just be my ignorance of like not being watching the games for many years in the past and only being last year and this year.
Yeah.
I don't know many of the Eagles players, right? I don't see them being like. Which, if you're an Eagles fan or you watch a lot of football, you'll probably be like, you're an idiot, Zach. But what I see with the Eagles is a fucking team. They are a team. They put things together on offense and defense, and it's not led by one superstar and a bunch of other people where all the media attention and money goes to the soup. They are just a collective, cohesive unit, and they're playing good football. Like I don't know. They don't lose here. I think if Murray can hook up with Marquise Brown and get him open and actually give him a game, maybe they have a chance.
Yeah. I like the Eagles here.
Yeah. I don't think they're going to go 17-0.
It's very tough, right? It's against history. I don't.
All these analysts are saying they're going to though, but I don't. It's so hard. It's so hard to do that. Like,
well, see what get through this week and then see what happens. See how Hurts reacts when he's got Micah Parsons drilling him.
Yeah,
that's the big thing. Is I don't know if I'm an Eagles fan, that would be my lone thing. How far can Jalen Hurts carry you? Because you saw it at times last year when pressure gets to him, ball sails, picks come, things happen. So You know, anybody can ride the wave when they're high. It's what happens. How do you react through adversity? So,
Yeah.
but I don't
And
think
like
they're going to see it this week.
yeah. And like I said, going back to, beginning, I think teams get through adversity well. So even, because they're so cohesive and strong, I think they'll handle it okay, and they will still have they're my NFC pick for, to go to the Super Bowl. So I don't think they'll beat the Bills though. Anyway, so that's that game. I don't have a lot of action or prop plays for that one. Next one is our game. We got the Cowboys, 3-1 Cowboys coming into the 2-2 LA Rams. The big talk is who's going to be the big difference. Is it going to be Aaron Donald or is it going to be Micah Parsons? You got Aaron Donald coming up against second, the backup Cooper Rush, or Micah Parsons coming in on the
Matt Stafford,
the interception machine, Matt Stafford.
Yeah.
I think Parsons is the bigger.
I took a bet in this game. I like the Cowboys to cover the 5.5.
Okay, so is it Dallas minus 5.5?
No, it's Dallas plus 5.5. They're getting 5.5.
So
5.5.
They got LA's the home favorite.
Yep.
Oh man, I
like the Cowboys in that spot.
Are you ready for this? I'm not betting this. This is just me being a Cowboys fan. I'm not betting this. I like the Cowboys money line.
Yeah.
I think now.
I think they can win this game outright, but I think the 5.5 is a safer bet.
Here is where it comes time to see what this Cowboys offense is. I know we don't have Dak, right? Whatever. I don't care about that. Cooper Rush has come in. He's manned the helm, and he's played well. He's gotten the ball where it needs to be, and they've run the plays and not audibled and changed everything and overcomplicated it. He's run the plays that the offense coordinator has called. This is the time. We have Gallup back, right? He's playing, which now puts another target on the field to alleviate CD, which will open him up a little bit more, give him more cushion to catch, not be double teamed so much. And when he is double teamed, you got Gallup on the back. We have Zeke, feed him the fucking ball.
Yeah.
And you got Pollard for, the sweeps and shit. Like, we have the tools. Here's where we see if we put them together. And then Stafford is a phenomenal quarterback. They won the Super Bowl last year. Him and Cooper Kupp are some of it's two of the best quarterback receivers I've seen in a long time. That Cooper Kupp can do no wrong, right? But Micah Parsons is going to be the playmaker today.
It's going to be up front. It's going to be up front.
He makes more of a difference than Aaron Donald, I believe.
Yeah, I believe. Listen, you got to believe it if you're a fan of that team. You should believe that, right?
But he's rookie of the year, and he's going to be defensive player of the year this year.
I think whoever plays up front better is going to win, because it's going to be hard to cover Cooper Kupp downfield.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to have to get pressure so that they're getting the ball out quicker.
You gotta blitz Micah Parsons on those third down or those second and long situations. Put pressure on Stafford so he throws a mediocre ball because he's Mr. Interception, and then you got Diggs. You got Diggs he has. You have Diggs who jumps routes very good. He also has the worst yards after catch too, right? I'm not gonna discount that, but you have it's a combination that spells disaster for LA if it goes through. Put pressure on Stafford. Make him rush the ball. Diggs jumps the route. Pick six. Let's make it happen. I want the Cowboys to win.
I like the Cowboys to cover the 5.5.
Yeah, I got it. Sure. I want them to win, and not as a bettor too. Not even as a fan. I like the odds of it. I don't like LA this year. LA was my team last year. I picked them to win the Super Bowl, and they did. And they won me a lot of money. Thank you, Matthew Stafford. Thank you, Cooper Kupp. But they're not the same team this year. And I don't know if it's because Stafford's arm is still not 100% or, if there's some other factors that are going on. But
sometimes you're just not hungry after you eat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You had a whole bunch of veterans that never won a playoff or never won a Super Bowl. Then they did.
Yep.
What other game we got on this?
We got 2 more games. We got
Okay.
Monday night and the Sunday night game. So the Sunday night game, this is my game of the week. You got a headache?
No.
No.
My
This is my
eyes
game.
are like worry.
This is my game of the week. 8:20 on NBC. 2-2 Bengals coming in to play the 2-2 Ravens. These are both dynamic teams who score a lot of points. The game goes back and forth when they play. They're fun to fucking watch. This is my favorite game here. What I like, and I got 2 bets, and it's weird because I'm going both sides. I got the Bengals to cover 3.5, right?
Me
So
too.
plus
Me too.
3.5 on the Bengals.
Yep.
But I got the Ravens first half minus 2.5. The Ravens play well in the first half and they fall apart in the second half, and the Bengals vice versa. So this is interesting to watch. If they follow their patterns, the Ravens will be winning at halftime by more than 2.5 points, and they're going to fucking blow it like they always do to the Bengals, who are going to come back. We got Mixon. Is it Mixon and Chase? Right? Those are the 2 guys.
Jamar Chase, Mixon,
they're
T.
gonna
Higgins.
light it up. Yeah, they got and take the second half. And if they don't win, they're at least going to cover by 3.5. I like this game. I think it's exciting. I'm going to have tons of chicken wings and beer for this game. And we're going.
I like this game. I'm trying to find I think the Giants game is starting now.
9:30, isn't it?
Is it 9:30 or 9 o'clock?
I think it's 9:30. I'll tell you a second. 9:30 on the NFL Network.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like the Bengals here at the plus 3.5. I actually kind of like the Bengals money line here too.
Yeah, but the 3.5 definitely. 3.5 definitely. I think it's going to be a good game. I don't know what the props are going to be. It's just you got Lamar Jackson. That dude is just a spectacle. He's a freak of nature. He runs the ball, throws the ball like his. What do you think? Just a quick caveat, because we only have one more game. We have a half hour to the game start. What do you think the mileage on that man is with the way he plays the game? What's his longevity?
Jackson?
What's his longevity? How many years can he play like that? Because he's still younger than a lot of people, right?
Yeah, he's young. He's been in the league longer, but he's younger than Baker and them, I think. The way it works out.
Yeah. So he's super young.
I don't know, man. I think by the time he's 30, he's done. Just because, unless he changes, like like Randall Cunningham changed later in his career, because Randall Cunningham was a pure passer.
That's the same thing. My dad. We were talking about this earlier in the week. That's funny that you say that.
Yeah, so, unless he changes, I say 30. Because his effectiveness is the running and the throwing. You know what I mean? Like it's a combo. Right.
But I
think if you take one away, it severely diminishes him right now. So
I think that unlike other quarterbacks who have his similarity, like, that are the scrambler and they make the plays like that on their feet, I think he has the brains to adjust. Yeah. I think he can learn if he wants to.
He's 25.
Right. But he's still young.
Yeah.
He's still young. So I think if that starts happening where he's like, man, I'm starting to get old, I think he can adjust and fix that. But I don't know. He's just super fun to watch. I love him every week. I wish he was my quarterback, but I got Mahomes, so that's okay. On my team. All right, we got one more game, right? We got the Monday night game. Speaking of Mahomes, we got the 1-3 Las Vegas Raiders coming into Arrowhead on ESPN. 3-1 Chiefs. What do you think?
Oh, Chiefs. Chiefs in a walk.
Chiefs. Is that what everybody's thinking, though?
They may be, but I don't see something's up in the rate. I think when the Raiders didn't take the coach that was the interim coach, I think whatever happened there, I think that's what made the Raiders take a step back. Like they played for that guy down the stretch last year, went into the playoff or what have you. And then when he didn't get named a full-time coach, it was all, like personalities, right? Like back in the day, I don't think you would have seen the Colts guys play for Bill Belichick. And the Belichick guys couldn't stand playing anywhere else because they won a certain way playing that way. So I think McDaniels comes in from the Patriots. He comes in, and you got a bunch of guys that don't really adapt to the way he coaches. So
Yeah, I think
I just
I
like
what
watching
I
the Colts.
like what I like in this game. I always like, unless they're playing a defense that has a really good secondary, not line. If the defense has a really good secondary and they're going to cover the receivers a long time,
Yeah,
I always like Mahomes over on his receiving yards, right? On passing yards. So I don't know what that line is right now. It's probably like 280, 290. He's always up there in the high 2s and 300s. I like him to usually hit that prop because it's never like super close. So I like that. But I think the Chiefs are going to come out at Arrowhead, put up a lot of points on the board in the first half. So I like the Chiefs first half, like say, I don't know what the line is. I'm going to say like +8, +10.
yeah.
I think they're going to go into the half blown out. Then I think they're going to ease off a little bit, chill out as the game goes on. And the Raiders are going to come back and make it a game, make it look close, but the Chiefs overall win. I don't know what the spread is. Do you know what the spread is on that by chance? I got logged out of fucking Barstool, so I can't look. I don't care. Not betting it. I like Mahomes, and I like first half bet for the Chiefs to be big.
Is 7.5. It's a pretty big spread.
I think
I like the Arrowhead at night, Monday Night Football. I like it. I think it's a tough game I think that's a tough game for the Raiders.
I think the Raiders
wins every week.
I think the Raiders cover that. I do. I think that it's going to be big blowout first half, and the Raiders are going to come back and make it a game, and they're going to cover. They're not going to win, but they're going to cover. So I know that's the last of this week. We haven't done anything talking about Thursday Night Football, and I'm only going to briefly just mention what the game is. And I tell you, I'm not touching it. Next week on Thursday, we have the Commanders versus the Bears. It's going to be a repeat of the shit show that was Thursday night this week.
Yeah, I don't think
Thursday Night Football.
Uglier.
Amazon Prime is like, I think they should pay me a Prime membership.
Did you see what RG3 said about it?
No.
Everybody that's stuck through this entire game should get a free 2 months of Amazon Prime.
Yeah. And I think next week's going to be the same thing. I think the Thursday Night Football schedule this year sucks. With the exception of the first game. The first game was phenomenal. They came out and they sold it. It was Chiefs versus Chargers. This is the way we're going to open up the 2022 season. Great. And then, bleh. All right. So if that's the last of it, I'm going to go over our prop, right?
Yep.
So we have a pick'em prop with our bets and some community people, right? So last week we were close. We had a 4-legger. Kelsey hit, your Gallup TD hit, I forget what it was hit, but Big Lars got the big L on Stephon Diggs. And I told you, to be fair, I did go through it. I said that sounds good because he did also mention Goff having a good game. If I had taken Goff, it wins all day. But this week we have a bigger spread. We have bigger people. So we have mine is Justin Jefferson over 83.5 receiving yards versus Chicago. We have your Zeke Elliott anytime touchdown.
Yep.
We have Chris Winnie coming to us with the Rashad Penny for the Seattle Seahawks under 60.5 versus the Saints. And I like that. So I'm like all day. He had a great week last week when they blew the score up. Were they playing Detroit? But I like that. So under 60. Then we got Winnie coming in with Elijah Moore over 42.5. The New York Jets versus Miami. I don't know Elijah Moore, but is he their prime receiver? Do you know?
Yeah, I'd probably say he's their favorite target there.
Okay. And then me and my dad both picked this one because we are looking for another one. I wanted to be a pick 6, but we didn't get 6, whatever. So this is just a prop parlay. We got Kenny Pickett over 0.5 interceptions. Just Kenny Pickett to throw 1 interception. Coming off throwing 2. And now he's playing in Buffalo. Come on, he's going to throw at least 1.
Yeah.
So
we'll see.
Those are the props. I think the odds, I'll tell you what the odds are right now, just so you kind of know as a fan, if you did take this bet, what you'd be getting. Thanks, Barstool, for making me log in for the 56th time today as we have dead air, but it's okay. Oh, my God, that's the wrong number. Anyway, fuck it. It's like over 2,000 plus 2,000. It's 2236 odds, right? So that means if you bet $5, you're winning like 117. Just so you have
If you
an
follow
idea.
our prop bet and they all hit.
Yeah. So I want to see some, and I like that, we have some community people throwing it in. I want to get more people in, like to have it.
Yeah,
So it's
we
not
get
just
people
ours.
in on the chat where you tell us what your bet of the day would be.
Yeah.
If you like a
Let's see.
prop bet or you like a whatever, just tell us what your bet would be. That's why we have it up there running. We know we're just starting out. We know that we do this every Sunday before the games, but the bottom line is it's interactive. We didn't hear from Matt Russell today, which is surprising to me.
Well, I mean, he's got his tail
He was
tucked.
talking so much trash yesterday too, and
Was he?
I'm yeah,
Why? Why?
just you got just eating, just absolutely hammering you for being a Cowboy fan. Just you guys do. I'm going to be on there. I said, well, we're going to be talking about you. Sign on. We'll talk about you. Don't
Listen,
worry.
let's say right now, the Cowboys are going to play the Commanders again one more time, right? They just
Yeah.
played twice.
Yep. Yeah, it's
Show
division
up.
game.
Show up that week. We'll talk. Because I read your things, right? It came through all disjointed, and you were like, oh, you changed the Cowboys before they became the Commanders. That's true, because I told you I was a Redskin fan. But I changed the Cowboys last year. They were the Washington football team. They weren't the Redskins anymore. You're still
Yeah.
wrong. You're still wrong. Like I liked the Redskins. Yes, I don't like the Commanders. And I didn't like the Washington fucking dumb football team. So okay,
Yep.
I finally did get logged into Barstool. It's plus 2622. So a $5 bet wins $131. So
Nice.
hopefully we all hit today. And then we have a little community hurrah. But definitely I just got permission to, I don't know how it looks. I tried to do it last night. You may have to post it. I'm looking on Thursday night to ask the community, what's your prop? And we'll pick the best one or two to add in on Sunday to our props. And then we'll see what we do and see if you can follow or fade. So I really like this one. I think this is one to follow. Sometimes you just got to fade and say, go the opposite. But I like this one. So this one could hit.
It could, and I know you were shitting on me about the Zeke one. You're like, dude, really?
Well, that was last week too.
But I think if they get down in the red zone down tight, Zeke is probably their best bet to punch one in down there.
It wasn't a shitting on Zeke to be Zeke. This is me personally. I get nervous with anytime touchdown props. I don't like them because they're way harder to gauge than yards for me or receptions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like they just make me nervous throwing them in. But you hit Gallup last week, so I'm going with you this week. It's fine. You said Gallup, and I was like, who the fuck is Michael Gallup? And then I'm watching, and it's like, oh, and he hits Gallup for a touchdown. Woo!
Let's see. So I got to remember to bet my team here. Right here, Outlaws 4-0 on both levels. I'm riding with them again this week. They're away this week at FDR. They're in Hyde Park playing the Presidents. So
that field is nice if I remember.
Yep, nice little
that
road
whole
game
area is nice.
Nice little road game for them, and again, they took down Red Hook last week, which was awesome. So now this week, got to go every week. I'm like 6-0 so far with these guys, and I'm going double wins again.
So are you thinking undefeated all year
for this team?
Get this fucking Facebook idiot out of here.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Listen, I'm going to tell you right now, if you're the 1 or 2 viewers that watch us during the week, I know a lot of people catch up with us, later on. But if there's ever a link in a thing, don't click it. We don't know these.
No, I blocked it. Yeah, all right, we don't post links. If we do a link, we do a screen share, and it'll be up here on our screen.
Don't ever click nothing
on the screen.
That's the worst thing about the betting community. I follow a lot of cappers and things on Twitter and TikTok, and then I get swarmed. Like once you follow them, you get swarmed with all these bots trying to add you and friend you. That's what sucks because they know money's involved. They know there's money involved, and they want to take some more of yours. So do you think that this is a potential undefeated season for the Outlaws?
Yeah, I mean, like anything, they've had two tight games on the juniors, which is but they pulled through for both. So anything is possible. They're playing very well, both levels. Like both games that were close, I think could have been bigger wins if there was more experience on the coaching side of it.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like they're just doing small things wrong that if they could kind of clean it up or come at it a little bit of a different direction, I think they would start really opening it up on teams.
That's
So
cool.
it's just small things that like small things, small misses over time add up. Where if they clean some of that up, it'll start spacing out the victories. So.
And then who's modified got this week? I saw your post of did they play Liberty last week? Is that who they played?
No. We played Red Hook. Red Hook was undefeated on modified, came to us, and we beat them 34-6.
Was that the thing you posted where Boston threw the absolute fucking seed, that BB out there? Like did he, yeah, that was such a good throw.
Well, he threw like a 42-yard completion. That was probably the one you're thinking of. But then it would have been a school record if it was on varsity. He had a 90-yard touchdown too.
Nice.
So this week we go to Marlboro. So it'll be a test. We'll be on turf. But the weather's supposed to be a little warmer here this week in the mid to upper 60s, which is nice. Fall's in the air. I got my fall allergies back. That's why when you asked me if I had a headache before, I don't. It's just these fucking fall allergies. They kill me.
He's Zyrtec or
yeah, I got Flonase or something in there. I'll get once I get going. But yeah, Outlaws today, 11-1. They play. They're both undefeated. It's good, man. It's the program's rolling, which is nice. And then in the huddle thing's kind of really taken off, which is cool.
Yeah, I told you. I didn't get a chance to watch Dennis yet. I will. I know Cougar shared with Dad a bunch of them, like the clips and stuff.
Yeah.
My dad's visiting, so I haven't really had time to do anything extra. So once he goes, I'll get back on it. But yeah, I like the idea if it keeps going, talking about Socrates football.
Yeah, and Monday night we have Jimmy Ball coming in. He played for me in the youth all the way up through. Then he went to college. He'll be in Monday night at 7:30. But he was like Division III Defensive Player of the Year. He was all NC. What was it? NESAC, Northeast something conference. Defensive Player of the Year. He was, like multiple time first team defensive player in college. So, it'd be nice to talk to him and see. He came through in a very short window of Sawyer success, and what from a player standpoint, what made him feel they were successful or unsuccessful or whatever. What were the do's, what were the don'ts? What would, from as a player perspective, what would he try to change to make it better? So we'll find out Monday night. That's at 7:30, and that'll be live right on the Facebook page. All that chat will be open for people to ask questions.
I know this is a football show, right? And the end of the show, we kind of go off to talk about Socrates and youth and stuff. I think it would be interesting to watch this. It doesn't have to be on Edge because it's a betting show. It could go on the Blitz or something different, in the huddle. It would be really cool to see it go on to wrestling season and baseball season too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I have no problem doing that. Like the baseball coach already asked me about the in the huddle. He goes, "Oh, can we do it for baseball?" I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely. I have no problem doing it for the baseball program too. We'll bring people on from baseball and talk about baseball." But my main get right now, I'm trying to get, and it's the wildest thing. We live in the same town, and for whatever reason, I can't find a guy. I'm trying to get Joe Martin on my actual podcast on the Outlaw Blitz. Because the stories and just the history of what he could tell and what he did and things, he would be a phenomenal interview for the Outlaw Blitz.
That needs to happen, hands down.
And I've been looking all over for him. I've called his phone, that the last number that people had for him. I get his voicemail. It's full. People see him driving around. They wave to him, like trying to wave him down. He just waves at him and keeps going. I've looked at all the normal spots and I can't find him.
Yeah, I would like to see that.
A lot of people are interested in that one. So hopefully I
Joe's
can track Joe down and get him on the regular Outlaw Blitz.
Joe's an amazing guy. Like, very often in youth sports, you have a bunch of relatives who are the coaches.
Yeah.
Joe is one of the unique people who cared very much enough to not have kids in the league and coach year after year and do well
for like 40 years.
Yeah,
for 40 years. So
he's an amazing individual. I'd love to see you get to talk to him, and I bet he does have some stories.
Oh, absolutely. So, he's a guy. If you've ever played baseball in Saugerties, Little League, whatever, you know who Joe is. Maybe right up to about this time frame, Boston's time frame. That's kind of when he phased out, which kind of drove me nuts because I wish he would have got to play for him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, for about 40 years of service to the Saugerties community as a Little League coach, and like you said, never had a kid in the league.
Yep.
Never had a kid. So yeah, I'm desperately trying to get a hold of him to get him on here, which I think would be phenomenal. And we'll see. But
I got a bunch that I'd like to see you talk to.
Well, send me the list because the football thing, Highland's rambling off like 30 different names. I'm like, dude. He's like, oh, this guy and this and this. And I'm like, Highland, we're building stuff around the high school program right now. Yeah, when other things come on, I have other friends that coach at Kingston and other places. I'll get it going. I said, but we're trying. They had a band at the Mum Bowl yesterday.
Nice.
I wasn't at the Mum Bowl. I caught some of it on the NFHS, the National Federation of High School Sports Network.
Yeah, you shared that in week 3.
Yeah, and it was awesome. You could hear the band going. The crowd was into it. So it does make a difference. The band makes a difference. I thought it was awesome to hear the band playing, and awesome that they were at the game and part of it. And then last night they had the first Mum Bowl dance in like 3 years, right? Because of COVID stuff. Man, I parked out back and went to pick Boston and his buddies up. And the kids coming by just having fun. Like, you could tell. Not one kid came out of there like, down or arguing or crying. Everybody came out of there. Everybody's spirits were through the roof. Happy, like, letting it rip. Boston gets in. He's got no voice because they were, like, yelling and hammering. And he goes, last song tonight was House of Pain, Jump Around. I requested it, and everybody went nuts. So, here you go. And everybody had a really good time. And it's awesome. It's awesome. I'm glad, even though they got beat yesterday, I'm glad some of the things are coming back. We had a band there. The crowd was there.
Now so the band's there. Now we got to work on getting the student body.
Student body was there.
Can we ask? I don't know who the hell you ask. Stop fucking playing Port Jervis on homecoming. Stop. They have 100 fucking kids in 3 buses that come every year. They're way too big of a school. They travel too far. Aniora. Can you just play Aniora?
Well, no, because Aniora's only 8-man now.
I don't care. Aniora. We want to win a goddamn Mum Bowl. It's homecoming. It's supposed to be a good game. Make it a good game, not a blowout every year.
Yeah, well, I mean, unfortunately for them, the last few years, they haven't won a game in like 3 calendar years, so it was a loss. But, the future looks bright if you've seen any of the games that these guys have been playing. So it'll come around, but they made steps in the right direction, I feel, in the crowd side of it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They had special uniforms, cool. They had the band there, awesome. They had the Mum Queen there, which the Mum Bowl always brings more people, but like you said, it would be nice to add a win to that. Yeah.
And it just seems like they're always playing these juggernaut big-ass schools that we're just not ready to contend with. Just right now. They build the program in Saugerties again, and they start coming back maybe in the future, sure. But, like, Port Jervis is just too big of a school. They're lying. They're lying about there's no way they're a Class A school. That or the entire student body plays on their fucking football team. Because when they travel, they charter like 37
We
buses.
actually looked like the bigger team yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It is what it is, but anyway, it looks like it's going in the right direction. I'm glad the kids got to go out and have a dance, which is awesome. Awesome for the kids. They had a good time, but we're right up against the Giants kickoff, so we'll let everybody get back to their weekly stuff.
Yep. And then hopefully, we'll catch
then
back up here next
by
week.
By Thursday, Zach will put the prop bet up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. And then just look out.
So if there's any bets that look good to you,
I'll try and do a poll. So like I'll try and do a poll of like which one sounds the best and like you will vote on. And then you can also put in the comments what yours are. And then if they're good, we'll take them. Because I genuinely like it to be a pick six. I want six bets. It doesn't just have to be a prop. It could be an over-under or whatever. That's fine if you want to join in. But it should be something that you feel confident in. And I want it to be over plus 600. That's all.
Yeah. And then realistically, Sunday morning, we'll post our Outlaws Edge pick 6 or whatever.
Yeah.
Or Outlaw 6 parlay or whatever.
Yeah. What I like to do is I like to lock it in by Saturday night in case the lines move. Because sometimes the over-under of the yards will move based on, injury report or whatever. So
or weather.
Yeah. So, we'll work on that, and we'll try and go this Thursday. I want to see some more kind of engagement with people and talk about football. Yeah. Even if it's the Matt Russell ribbing about me being on the superior team. Yeah. I don't know.
And if you want to pop on and BS with us for a few minutes, let us know. I'll send you the link and we'll get people popped on.
Yeah, but definitely, Matt, I'm throwing it out right now. When the Commanders and the Cowboys play again, you should definitely come on, and we could talk back and forth, and I'll keep it civil, and you can try and say whatever you want and be mean, but we can talk about it would be super fun to talk about the history of that rivalry as well, because that is a very rich one.
That's the real rivalry
throughout the NFL.
Not, right, like living in New York, everybody thinks it's New York, it's the Cowboys Giants. It's not. It's Cowboys Redskins.
Yeah.
Or Cowboys, whatever they are now.
They were the Redskins, so but the Cowboys, Dallas, Washington has been one of the. It's. I don't think it's up there with.
It's not Yankees,
Boston. It's not. It's not that. That's got animosity. Like that's got people getting fighting and bad. This one has just been. It's been good played football back and forth throughout the years with great talent, and the Cowboys have just typically been on the winning side of it. The Washington has had a couple good years. Especially during the Joe Gibbs era, but we'll talk about it. So come on, we'll talk about it. And then I can talk from both sides. You can talk from Commanders and you can talk from Dallas, and we'll kind of.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
You're not going to sway me back though.
Didn't hear nothing from that guy today.
We went on a little early. He's probably still sad about their loss last week.
All right, bud. You'll get that up Thursday, and we'll see everybody next Sunday. Is there another England game next week?
I don't know. Let me see. I got week 5, week 6.
Yeah.
So no, it doesn't. Nope. No, it's a Prime Video. It's a Thursday game.
Okay, so we're good.
There's no early game.
Yep. We'll be up between 8:30-ish. We can go a little bit later next week.
Yeah, sounds good.
About 8:30, but we always try to be done before the first kickoff, so it works.
Yep. And we got 3 minutes. So
all right, guys.
Good luck on your bets.
Bet responsibly. We'll see you next week.